Hello. I am walking outside, so you may hear some lively noises like birds and cars. I feel like I have not recorded in quite some time. I've been in some sort of what we maybe can call like a mini hermit phase. A car just drove by with a license plate 777. It's a red car. So you could be seeing 777. The phrase alchemical alignment just came to me, as well as so far on my walk and right before I left, I kept hearing the phrase portal keepers, portal keepers, portal keepers, portal keepers. So I decided today, after I took a pause because it got extremely loud. Now there's a plane flying overhead. Yeah, so this mini hermit phase, I felt guided to do another fast, and I am absolutely not promoting fasting. I just feel called to share. All of a sudden, all this traffic again. I feel called to share. And I know that there is so much nuance with fasting and like some traditions, like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda. It's not always, especially for like menstruating women, it's not always like the recommended thing. I just really have gotten to a space where I listen to my own body, and right now fasting has been periodically assisting me. Anyway, so I did like a 40-hour water fast, and for the first time actually I did have a little bit of black coffee, which I've never done that before while I was fasting. Anyway, my goal was autophagy, and so the black coffee and water does not affect the like cellular cleanup process. Anyway, so I wasn't sure if I was going to record today. I almost left my phone back at my Airbnb, but I decided to bring it. And I was walking along. The roads have been under construction since I've been here in Montenegro, the main road that I'm staying on. So energetically, it's also been mirroring this like scaffolding construction, inner planes like rehaul. And I know that I posted a transmission not that long ago with a similar title to that, so there could be messages in there. And each like part of the road has had like I'm from America, and so in case you couldn't tell by my accent, and so yeah, the construction style is a bit different here. Anyway, I was about to start entering the road straight to the beach, but before you do, there's like a turn and like a yield off to another road. And as I'm walking, this feels more like a storytelling type of transmission, by the way. As I'm walking, it was almost like, when you're watching a movie and they do like a slow motion of like something happening, or like an instant replay. That's what it felt like, although it was seemingly the first time it was happening. It happened in this like slow motion, and I guess you can call it like a utility vehicle, like a van, utility van. I think it had 4 men in the car, in the vehicle, and it was about to do the same turn I was about to walk. I was like a few feet behind them, and they just like pulled they were stopped in the middle of the road doing some sort of transaction, because that one side of the road was pretty much blocked off for construction. So anyway, so they did their transaction. They start to pull away, and they kind of like stopped to the side. I don't know what they were doing, maybe whatever. And the utility vehicle, or whatever it's called, literally, again, in like slow motion, just tips off the side of the road. Like, it was just, I was just standing there like, what is happening? And so I just like grounded the container of whatever was happening for a moment, and my cell phone, even though I have it right now, I don't get access to use it except for, I don't have Wi-Fi. So I wanted to like call. I have like the emergency number written down just in case. And cars just kept driving by, and I was like, what is happening? So I tried, like I walked up, and all of a sudden like the door opened, and then all 4 guys just started like crawling out of the top. They all seemed totally intact. No one seemed hurt, luckily. And interestingly, some of these, like the way the road has like a barrier, some of them are just like smooth on the other side, and it's like not much of a drop, maybe like a couple inches, but some of them have pretty deep like ditches, so it could have been a lot worse. They got lucky that it was a pretty smooth side with just a few inches of a drop. But anyway, then I just stood there for a moment and was like, again, I don't speak the language. I'm just seeing again 7777 on a car. Lots of 777. Yeah, so there, again, there's something about like there's, yeah, okay, let me just gather this for a moment. So coming out of a hermit phase, right, I've been at my Airbnb for a few days now, and meaning like I haven't really left, like I wasn't going to the market or feeling guided. I just like needed my own little bubble. And then it's like, okay, I come out of the bubble for like 10 minutes, and then I witness that and see 7777 2 times in a few minutes. So again, something about alignment and like perspective. It feels like a lot of victim mentality consciousness for those of us who feel portal keepers to that ancestral lineage alchemy are really being highlighted, maybe is the word, highlighted. Of course, I like sent love and tried to offer help. There was really nothing else I could really do. Right? Honestly, pretty quickly, other people came to assist that could do way better than I could with like actual vehicles and cell phones and equipment. So that was good. But they all just kind of like gave me a wave. And I was like, okay, bye. I don't know what to say. I was like, good luck. Anyway, luckily everyone, like I said, is not hurt, at least outwardly. So and seeing 777 or repeating sevens, yeah, anyone who wants to add something that they feel from those numbers and or any like stories, synchronicities that come through, feel free. But something that came through through those numbers could be of divine alignment, spiritual protection, being exactly where you're supposed to be. And the birds outside just started to chirp really loudly. Speaking of birds, when I was walking today to pick my spot on the beach, I generally, my voice has just been, every time I go to record, it's crazy. My voice just gets so like low. And as I'm walking, generally when I go to this beach, I tend to gravitate towards one side or the other because it's less crowded. Today's a Monday, so it wasn't as maybe crowded as some other days, but still a good amount of people. But I felt really guided to go to the center. And before I was kind of thinking about this before I got to the beach. And then I got, not like dead center, but more towards the middle. And so I was walking to one side because when you walk through the entrance, you can go like right or left. And these two birds just flew like literally so close to my face, right? And like I looked to the left and saw this like one spot. It almost just like lit up. I mean, you know, energetically. But I was like, oh no, I'm just going to keep walking. No. So then I just did not. And I turned around. And when I went to that spot, I had been having like oil in my hair the last couple days. I feel like it just needed, because I was hermiting, I was like, my hair just needs oil. So luckily I have some enough oil right now. And so I just kind of let my hair soak in oil for a few days. And I wanted to go to the beach, get some sea salt water, the minerals, and then, you know, get a shower. Anyway, so I sit down, dunk my head, lay in the sun, and all of a sudden a specific song starts playing. And it's a song that I had already heard a few days ago when I was out in the city in Budva, in like the main town that I'm staying near. And I was like, it was the same song. And this is like a song that I have like with the angelic realms, however you want to call it, your spirit team, high self, etc., etc. And it was like twice in 1 week. I've mentioned the Samurti before, which is an elemental essence that has come through, and I've connected with that energy many times, but I didn't have a name for it, and the name synchronistically came through Maya Nartumid. So anyway, the Samurti, I kept feeling that energy all day today. Also, I was already mentioning that phrase, portal keeper, and I was listening to a reading earlier from, I believe she calls herself the Angel Aura on YouTube. She may have like said that phrase. Honestly, I can't remember, but yeah, that phrase is still repeating actually as I'm tuning back into this. I'm recording with a bit of space in between each segment. And so I'm sharing some of these personal experiences because sometimes we can talk about the like phenomenon and, you know, ascension mechanics and these different names, and sometimes just good old-fashioned storytelling can also help to transmit the encoding and the codes that are coming through. When I was thinking about that van tilting like on its side, 444 on the timer, it made me think of that energy of like calm in the storm, you know, like as much chaos that can ensue. There's something about, again, I was like drawn to like the middle, the center of the beach. Like there's something about staying in the center. And again, continuing to trust where you're led. And whoever's finding this, like you may be very deep into that sort of flow, that synchronistic flow, and or you may be like stepping into that. So it's actually 11:11 on the clock, and speaking of synchronistic flow, this idea that keeps coming through of like portal keeper with all of these concepts. Of course, there's like the multidimensionality of the idea of a portal, and then also our own auric field as a portal. I just heard the latter is most relevant at this moment, but they're all sort of like present. And my right temple just like closed up a little bit and like tightened. And they say like the temples are the energetic spiritual gateways. So I was laying down. I feel like I just needed to like sit up and take a breath all of a sudden. like, whew. There could be a strong focus with the lungs right now, or just like the diaphragm, breathing with the lungs, diaphragm. Rectifying breathing. I know I'm going through this personally as well. And you know, they say like babies are born knowing how to breathe correctly. So there could be something like that for some of you. I'm also seeing porcelain. There's also this amplification of synchronicity, especially if there has been a bit of doubt. Collectively, it feels like there may have been just like a wave of doubt that has been coming through. And in one of the recent transmissions, subconscious illumination, I was talking about like a mini hermit phase. So you could also be going through this, like I mentioned, or maybe about to. And I've realized, like, just full transparency, I've been like getting in my head a little bit about like content creation, and you know, I still really I love doing it, but it's a learning curve, and which I also enjoy, but you know, sometimes it just get those little waves of doubt can come. And I uploaded this short to TikTok and YouTube, here on YouTube. I think I called it like Solar Sprinkle, and it was about like a sun shower. And I got in my head like, oh, maybe I shouldn't post this, I don't know. And then I took a deep breath and just did it anyway. And then literally right after I posted that, I'm talking like right after, within like, I don't know, a minute, a couple minutes, maybe even sooner. It was very soon. So that like solar sprinkle happened a few days prior. I just hadn't uploaded that short. I had like a couple kind of in the queue waiting to be posted. And then when I got the ping to post that one, and then the doubt came, and I did it anyway. It was like right after that. So a few days after the solar sprinkle. I shit you not. It was complete sun. Same thing like the day of the solar sprinkle, like a no signs of like inclement weather. Thunder. I hear thunder, and it's sunny, like sunny thunder. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm being shown Zeus right now. The archetype of Zeus, the mythos of Zeus. Zeus. I just feel like I need to keep saying that. Zeus. Yeah, just sun thunder, solar thunder. Anyway, so yes, like, you know, if someone's listening and they're like, oh, that's just a coincidence, but like, mind you, when you're, and that's okay, you know, but this is like I said, a flow of synchronicity. So you will, and or are already experiencing these like, just like confirmations, validations, things of this nature. Excuse me. Oh, that was a really uncomfortable burp. Yes, there's something about just like, working through some sort of doubt or uncomfortableness. My stomach just started growling, or like moving around, you know, when it makes those like gargle sounds. So there's definitely something about the inner solar, if you want to call it the solar plexus, the inner central sun, etc., etc. Ooh, I just heard a motorcycle. I just started yawning, like almost like the energy that's been coming in today. It's very like bursts. Like I've been recording this transmission in piecemeal because it's just been like a burst of information, and then it's also because I've really integrated these transmissions like in my life. So I get like pings and messages like as I'm just living life, you know. So sometimes it comes out all in one flow or all in one go. Other times, yeah, it's like piecemeal. But today, even the energy just feels, it feels like that. So, yeah, I'm yawning again. You could even, I was not tired at all before I started recording this. You could even be, like in a retraining phase with your energy. Like perhaps you are like recovering from burnout, maybe like doing your best to like listen to your own inner rhythms, you know, depending where you are with this. Some of you may be thinking about starting this. Some of you may already be very deep into it, somewhere in the middle, but also dark chocolate could be significant. It's funny because in this past week or so, I just was handed literally dark chocolate 2 or 3 different times. Like someone who is staying next to me in the Airbnb just like came out one day and was like, here, and just handed me dark chocolate. And like 2 days before that, I went somewhere unexpectedly and this person was like, oh, here, have some dark chocolate. So dark chocolate could be coming out. And when I said that, my throat almost like burned. What is the sensation? I mean, honestly, it tastes like I just swallowed ashes, like cigarette ashes. That's what it tastes like. Whew. Okay. Speaking of collective, perhaps doubt, layers of doubt coming back up. I was talking about how, you know, if we feel like we've been working through some sort of like unhealed filter, and then we have this like integration period, then there may be like another layer, you know, like a spiral that comes up. And I just released my 3rd Recursive Pulse Beehiiv newsletter this week, and Spiral Gnosis is like the name of like my Beehiiv. I guess it's like a channel. I don't really know what they call it. I also was in the midst of I started a podcast, kind of. It's basically just like my YouTube transmissions. I'm still working on that, but Spiral Gnosis is like what keeps coming through as like the name of these. And I feel like that is such the energy of whatever I'm tapping into right now. And I was saying that this idea of a next layer, you know, oh, these yawns. I definitely feel like this collective is like very 9 of Wands right now. Like 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands, like dropping burdens. You could be really, 21 on the clock. You could be really like working with releasing of neck and shoulder tension. You know, like 10 of Wands, carrying burdens, ancestral patterns, etc. But yeah, again, this next layer of, it's like victim mentality, victim consciousness. It really feels like it's through the mother lineage or the feminine energy through your lineages. Excuse my yawning. Wow. Also, this could be a confirmation for someone, but for some of you, if you're starting to work with energy, or maybe there's a shift in the way you work with energy, you could be yawning. Like I burp. And I've talked about this before, but it's coming up again. So some of you may like yawn when you're releasing energy. I was talking about the fire element and the song that I kept hearing synchronistically with the word fire in it. And I kept hearing the phrase Kundalini current. Excuse me, Kundalini current. So the Kundalini movement and electric currents, mitochondria has been coming up a lot lately. And this idea of like utilizing your own physical body to like micro movements and like slow, sharp movements to like rev up your own energetic currents. That's been coming through. Okay. Also, I believe I can fly. I know that came through. I was in a car with the Airbnb host and her 2 kids, and they don't really speak English, the kids. And all of a sudden, they're so cute. All of a sudden, they just started singing, I Believe I Can Fly, like in English. And I was like, wow. And they were like singing to me, you know, like it was so cute. But synchronistically, right after that, I swear, like everything I clicked on was talking about like taking flight, believing in yourself, believing you can fly. Like there was just like so much around that. So yeah, I feel like this is also now coming through for the collective that I'm tuning into of that self-belief. I'm also hearing in my head now Soar from Christina Aguilera. There also could be like a song and or like songs, poems, movies, whatever it is for you, like that's really speaking to you. I also kept seeing references to the number 24. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I have that written down and I just look up on my clock and it says 11:24. So yeah, and I was not looking at the time at all. My eyes were just drawn to that. I think there was a show called 24 that kept coming up. 24 hours in a day, 24. Also, there was this game. Does anyone remember 24? When I was younger, my sister was so good at it. I was not as good. It was like a math game with these cards, and you had to like always get to the sum of 24 with like, I don't know. I haven't thought about that in so long. I have to tell my sister about that. But yeah, that's coming through. Someone here will be very good at math. I am not, but maybe you are. Maybe, someone who's really good at math. That's also coming through this energy for you. Buddha. I've been seeing so many references to Buddha right now. Buddha consciousness, the idea of the laughing Buddha, inserting joy. And it's so funny because when I was walking, back from, I was leaving the the sea, and there were like multiple people around. I need to take a breath for a second because this energy, I just keep yawning. Yeah, I took a little clip, maybe I'll try to insert it, where the beach where I'm staying, they added like this whole floating, I don't even know what it's called, like a floating, like blow-ups, where you can like very big, where you can like go and jump on these like floating, why can't I think of the name of this? When kids have like blow-ups at a kid's birthday party and you can go and jump and stuff. It's like that, but on the water. And there were like jet skis. It was just like a very fun, like it's Monday here, so I wasn't expecting that. There was just like this very like fun, I just kept getting like adventure, fun. Anyway. And so I was like feeling that, but I was also just observing because, I'm still like a little bit in my hermit phase. And so I was just kind of like admiring the scenery. And as I was walking back, I kept getting this feeling to maybe like just sit down at a restaurant or something because I haven't really been doing that much. But I've also been, like I said, like tending to my body and not been like financially, just it's not in the cards right now to like spend money on that. So I was like, I could just get like something little, whatever. I was just like entertaining the idea. Then I was like, I don't know. So I just kept walking. And then like this man just came up to me, like a very older man. And we didn't speak the same language. He was really nice. I don't know. And he like invited me to come sit with his friend, him and his friend. And his friend came up and spoke a little bit of English. And he was from Canada. Now, this is so funny because when I was writing out my dreams this morning, I was talking about Canada. So there could be these like, whether it's like precognitive, like in your dreams, you're getting like a heads up of like things that are showing up in your reality. It could be claircognizance, just a knowing, could be both. Like I call them flashes or like little visions where I just like feel or know something. which is basically claircognizance, but like mixed with clairvoyance. It's like they come together. It's like a quick flash vision of knowing and perception. So perceptive. Also, I had a dream last night of people that I have not seen in a very long time. Oh, one of them especially I haven't seen in a very long time. Excuse me. Oh, I grew up with her. And then, yeah, she was in my dream last night. And then today, a friend of mine sent me a picture of her and was like, oh my God, look who was with my friends. I wanted to show you because she knows that I grew up with her and I love her. And so, yeah, there she was. Not even 24 hours later, someone sends me her photo. So yeah, things like that could be happening as well. Speaking of dreams, I'll say there's been a collective theme through my dreams this last week or so. I've been really fleshing them out because there's been so much information coming, and I'll continue to channel in what I feel guided to. But the theme that I really noticed has been walking your own path. And like there's been almost like every dream that I've had this week where at the end of the dream, I'm walking solo away from something. And it's not even in like a defiant way or anything like that. It's like, oh, whatever I was doing, like, well, this is not aligning right now, or this isn't what I'll be doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk or bike away on my own accord. And yeah, it's just like this collective theme of like choosing yourself. And then in one of the dreams when I'm saying myself because it was me visually, but it feels, collective. That's why I'm sharing it. So as I was walking, in one of the dreams, at the end of the dream, it was like all of a sudden like pouring, raining. And then another end of the dream, similar thing. I was biking away. It's just all this snow came on the ground out of nowhere, and then it like disappeared right as I needed to bike. So rain, snow, the elements, purification, there have been so many mosquitoes just eating my skin and buzzing in my ear. Almost just in my face. They are really aggressive where I'm here. They like nosedive onto your body. Like I've dealt with many mosquitoes before, but I don't know. These are like a different type of aggressive level. Anyway, I was just politely shooing it away. But back to Buddha. Some of you could be also having like Buddha belly. Have you ever heard of that when like you get like this like bloat, a belly bloat? Ooh. So in Sanskrit and Pali, Buddha is like a word that translates to the awakened one or the enlightened one, allegedly. And I don't know, when I tap into it feels like a title to me, and not like just a title like Mr. and Mrs. so-and-so. It's like, I don't know, I was just showing Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but a title of like, yeah, like a state of being. So that was coming through quite a bit this week, quite a bit. Also, so many references to near-death experiences, NDEs. It's like a tidal wave of near-death experience this week. Like my light just flickered as I said that. So there can be many reasons for this. I'm not getting anything more than just to mention it. Yeah. And as soon as I'm tapping into it, it's like, I'm just yawning and feeling so tired. So yeah, I'm hoping that whoever finds this, if you're really needing some breaks or some time, a mini hermit phase, and if you're already doing that, then you can just take this as a confirmation. But yeah, there's like this inner planes I just heard communication station that is rippling through, and I'm seeing someone like gripping onto a side of a mountain with like digging their claws, like their claws could be significant. I didn't mean to say that. Like their nails in the side, like hanging on, you know. And I was feeling that really heavy the last couple days, actually, that energy of like just holding on, you know, like checking for something, or like there's been this like restlessness. And so, yeah, maybe this is just a reminder which I needed this reminder as well. Actually, today was much better, but the last 2 days I definitely felt myself kind of like tensing up, and like I was like bracing myself for something, and I don't know what it is exactly, but I just like really needed to come back to myself. And it wasn't like too long that I was in that, because like just like a day or two before that, I felt this like very free flowing like butterfly fairy energy, and then like the last day or two it was just like a little bit of this like restlessness, holding on. So, you know, even if we're so attuned to these energies, to these concepts, like sometimes we just all need a reminder here and there, probably. Yeah, I'm being shown the song Cheerleader. I wish I was a cheerleader. I forget who sings it, but oh my gosh, my voice is like shaking. 144 and Hydra, the Hydra constellation, that also feels like it was coming through super strongly. The celestial water snake or sea serpent, Hydra. I'm just getting so many like things from when we were kids, or when I was a kid. Maybe some of you do. Does anyone remember? I think they were called water snakes, when you would like, oh my God, I loved those. That you would like hold them in your hand and they would slip away, and you like would just kind of move your hands up and down, and it would like slide through your hands. Some of them would like have like glitter in them, or I don't know, I was being shown a water snake. Yeah. But also, right, like feeling like something's about to slip out of your hands, like, or like holding on tightly. Yeah. So again, this could be coming in waves for some of us. There was another portion of my notes that I didn't see until just now, and I was kind of like sitting with it to see if it wanted to come up. Ooh, oh my, that was crazy. I just felt like a gust, like a burst of like wind or air come over me as I was about to say that, but there's nothing here that could really do that. I mean, maybe like my hand gestures from gesticulating could have created that. That's possible, but still, it just came over me. Okay, so a while back I had this dream where I was somewhere in like a desert type of climate, a terrain, and I was inside of this building with all of these symbols on them. There was a lot more going on, but I don't remember all the details. Anyway, lately, Qatar, Dubai, these places have been coming up in my awareness, like seemingly out of nowhere. And when I was doing some research, I found, what is it called? Dubai's Museum of the Future, Poetry and Steel. And there's like Arabic written on it. And I was like, oh my God, as soon as I saw it, that was like a flash of what I was experiencing in my dream. And there's another part of this. Okay, so there's that. This dream was like a while ago too. But I was like flashed it and I remembered. Now, the next piece of this, there's like a part of me that's really craving like luxury right now. Just like I love certain aesthetics with my environment. I always have, but lately I've been like more back to basics, or just, you know, staying with other people, which I'm so grateful for. But yeah, there's just a part of me, if I'm being honest with myself, it's craving. So these YouTube videos started popping up on my timeline that I'd never seen before, and they were like these really just beautiful, aesthetically pleasing like scenery. Some of it's like fantasy, some of it's futuristic, some of it's current, but just aesthetics that really, like, I couldn't have asked for better aesthetics to just put me in that like emotive place of just like, this is what I was craving. And so it's just kind of, and they have like music or subliminals in the background, or just different hertz frequencies. So I was just kind of like playing them while I was working, and, you know, etc., etc. And then, like I said, synchronistically, Dubai and Qatar kept popping up through different things. And then I found that they have these like Japanese capsule style hotel that's like very, very affordable in Dubai. So it was like, I don't know, it was just like one of those moments where it's like, where something can seem so far away, but like actually that could be in my potential not too far off budget. So things like this are coming through as like just our realities continuing to merge, like our subconscious, our desires, and maybe in ways we don't expect, or like possibilities in ways that we didn't expect. And I'm not saying that's like 100% my next move, but like it was just really nice to know that could be possible sooner than later. And I'm sharing that because I feel like collectively a lot of us are experiencing and or about to be experiencing something similar. Now, as I've been like guided to look into Dubai, because I was never really attracted to go to Dubai, because like everything I heard about it was like, why would I want to go here? I don't know. But as I was like looking into it, like I said, I don't know, I just kept getting these like flashes of like Atlantean vibes. Like there just seems to be this like, has anyone else noticed this or felt this? You know, when we look at like the Polynesia, Lemuria, I meant to say like Hawaii, places like that, like Lemuria is so present, but like Dubai was just built up in the last like 50 years or something. So I just feel like there's this like Atlantean encoded frequency in Dubai. And I haven't been there. This is just some like dreams and photos and research. But yeah, I just kept feeling that like so strongly. So if anyone else feels that, but it also feels like a specific frequency of Atlantis. It doesn't feel like, you know, they say a lot of like America is like Atlantean karma playing out, but this feels like the ingenuity and like the electric current of Atlantis. Yeah. So if anyone else has felt that, I'm just curious. Oh, also like Virgin Mary, or like pregnant virgin, or just like, also I'm hearing Vesta. Energetically, how, whatever that symbolizes, I've been seeing just like so much symbology around that as well. So yeah, again, these like waves of next layer of something that you have been purging for a long time feels like as that next layer alchemizes, then it's like that pregnant virgin sort of symbology of renewal, again, like the snow and the rain, of birthing that next potential. Yeah, I'm going to leave that here. Thank you so much. I know that there's so much more coming in, so I will be continuing to record and post. And yeah, I'm just sending everyone so much love. I know that there is, again, whether it's empathically that you're just picking up on collective absorption and or probably a little bit of personal stuff too, or however it's coming through for you. So yeah.